Coming to you from the M&M Exterior Studio in Knoxville, Virginia, this is Flushing It Out with Samantha Spittle, the introvert's extrovert. She talks to people so you don't have to. For now.
Welcome back to Flushing It Out with Samantha Spittle, the introvert's extrovert. I'm here with another two-time guest, Natasha Frisk. Woo! You can't even see we're dancing. Oh man, her moves are so much better than mine.
Oh man.
Thank you for coming back.
All right. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I love the new setup. I have to spoil it for you guys. It is awesome in here right now. I'm sitting in this perfectly cushioned chair with my headphones on.
Yes.
Yep. New mic setup.
Yes.
It's fresh in here. It's awesome.
We're big time. This is next
Very
level
big time.
now.
Very big time. Level up.
Yep. We're leveling up. The M&M Exteriors, studio podcast is just really up and coming.
Yes, it is.
Thanks for checking out the new studio.
Oh, I'm just grateful to be here again. Thank you.
Well, remind everyone who you are if they either just forgot because they've had so much amazing things in their brain, even though I don't know how they could forget, or if they haven't had a chance to listen to your first episode yet. Remind everyone who you are.
All right. So everybody, I am Natasha Frisk, and I am owner of Fitness and Energy, which is a mobile fitness and wellness business. I was specializing in helping women of all ages and stages of life become more holistically living, to be the better version of themselves that they're craving to be, and also helping out families find the start and finish to introduce health and fitness into their lives as well, to take it with them.
It's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I didn't say this before last time because I was kind of nervous, but I'm also a mom. I have 14 years experience. Mm-hmm. Our boy is a freshman now in high school, and that's life-changing, and it's different. And I'm actually super proud of him. They've only been in school for maybe 4 weeks almost now.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, your county is 4 weeks. Mine's a week and a half.
Yeah, so I was straight nervous that he was just going to be a nervous wreck. He's so confident. He's doing really good. And then my baby girl, she is about to be 11, and she's her first year in middle school, and she's doing it too. So,
wow.
Yep.
Great kids.
Yes.
And your awesome husband.
My awesome husband, Danny, will be celebrating 15 years and stuff. And yeah, I have to share this moment. I'm just happy. I'm happy. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I love life right now and what it's doing.
That is amazing. Yeah. And you guys have some fun. Do you want to talk about your farm?
Oh, yeah. I brought Samantha and Jeremy some goodies. Some of our... So we are...
That's a big, yes, your fitness. Yes, your mom and stuff. But you also have this crazy other world going on.
I do. I am not your average in the box coach, trainer, or whatever you want to say, whatever. I am we started a hobby farm of chickens, and we had some goats as well, and we still have the goats, but we are expanding it and turning it into more of a family farm, and we're calling it Frisk Family Farms and stuff. And so what we're doing is we always sell eggs for eating, but now we're saying laying hens and fertilize eggs, and we hope to one day sell chicks and stuff. So what we're doing is we're buying chicks and stuff. We're raising them for you. And then you come and you get them when they're ready to lay, about 5 to 6 months.
That's
and
awesome.
Stuff. Yeah.
And so smart too, because I know part of nutrition, is knowing where your food comes from. And
that's what it came, for me, that's where I really want to experiment with, showing the kids that we can homestead. We watch all these crazy YouTube videos, off the grid stuff. And, my husband and I just joked about it for the longest time. And then he just went out there and he bought the wood and he built the coop himself.
Wow.
And we painted it our Vikings colors, of course, Minnesota.
Shout out.
Shout out to them. And then we started with 6, and then we got into the chicken math. And it was so funny from the person we bought them from, Laura from Happy Cock Farms. She's here in Fauquier County.
I'm sorry, did you say Happy Cock Farm?
Yes, Happy Cock Farms.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. I don't know her, but I already love her. That's brilliant advertising. Yeah, they're not, she didn't pay for this ad.
No,
but
I'm just telling you how it started.
With a name like Happy Cock Farm, how can we not say, time out, let's address this. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, back on track.
We started with our 6, and then once you get into chickens, it starts with chicken math, 6, 12, 18. Yep. Now I have 48.
Oh my gosh.
And we're building our 3rd coop.
And are you the crazy chicken lady?
No, you know what's so funny? I love my chickens. I talk to my chickens. I go out and say good morning. Yes. They know it's me. Because you know what? I think I wanted to be a mom again for so long, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, and I had that nurture, like I want to take care of something. So I started with the 6 and then we got more and more and more. And then we started selling the eggs and now we're expanding to our 3rd coop and stuff. And it's so funny. We went to pick up feed the other day, my husband and I, and he saw this ad of their laying hens coming in and they had a certain amount. And he's like, well, how much are they? And they told him the price. Like, well, if you buy 10 or more, they're only $9. He's like, sign us up for 10. Like,
oh my God.
So now he's the crazy chicken guy.
He's the crazy chicken
So
guy.
now he has to build a 3rd coop.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have an issue with birds and whatnot, so I just don't know if
my dad doesn't like birds either. My dad won't come out back if they're free ranging.
Yeah.
So
it's very hard for me. And then I try not to pass that on to my kids, you know, especially my daughter. So I'm like, great, yay. Oh, love being around. Yeah, just let them live their best life. Picking around.
Have you ever seen the Birds movie?
I've seen enough of it, but no, I knew, like, I'm not watching, because my stuff started in childhood. Like,
my dad's did too.
Birds, I got, like, attacked, and so I always knew about the movie. I saw clips from it, but there's no way I was ever going to sit down and watch it, because that already was my real life. I already had been attacked multiple times, fallen dead out of the sky.
I don't mean to laugh, but it's like...
You can laugh, it's funny. Okay, I think I talked in an episode about, I can't believe I forgot I told this on the podcast, but, like, I think that I could kill someone with my bare hands. How does the same person that has this confidence that, like, don't F with me because I will rip your neck out with my hands. And then the other part is be like, oh, bird. And I mean like a sparrow. I'm not even talking like.
Because birds are little flying dinosaurs.
Oh, it's like.
That's what they are.
It's like, it scares me. So I don't know why I have this dual craziness in my head. But.
So for the record, no birds.
No birds. No birds. But now you know how to screw with me if you really need to. Well, I'm excited so even though that seemed like a tangent, it's not.
It's not because it led us to where I am now. Like with what Samantha was saying is we wanted to know where our food comes from.
Yeah.
And that ties into what I do with health and wellness. And it's perfect. It's good because we have a little farm as well. And we grow our things from seeds. Sometimes we buy them, the burpee plants and stuff like that from from Home Depot and everything. But other than that, it was started as an experiment and it started as learning and growing, and it ties into what I do as well. That's something like my business is going to always be expanding because now I want to provide that in there too. Because I know there's people who are interested in how to grow their food or, wanting to know more about plant food and stuff like that, and experimenting and being more in control and everything. It's baby steps, but we talked about that last time. We talked about that. Back to basics, exactly.
So that's a good lead in. So you brought some nuggets today. So Natasha, before we go into your tips of your nuggets of wisdom and information, to kind of preface it to listeners, what would you say?
I would say this is my professional opinion, but always check in with your physician first.
Yes, make sure that it's all above board. But, I know you'll hear some great tips today, though, that you can definitely start running with, both physically and metaphorically.
Yes, you will. Get ready.
I would say if someone's wanting to make a change, these are probably things that we can dive into.
Yeah, definitely. So with Fitness and Energy with me, I am, like I said, I'm not your in-the-box coach or trainer. I want to show you how to do the things that you need to do to help you be more preventative or to help you lose weight or stop, and start stuff like that. But I want you to be in control. I want to help pretty much just kind of educate you and guide you on what to do. So when we're together, this is what you're going to learn. And then when we're done, you're already going to know how to do it. You're going to be off into the sunrise or sunset and you're going to figure it out and you're going to know everything how to do on your own. But the number one is you have to start from where you are, though.
Yeah.
You can't just jump right into things. You have to start from where you are, accept where you are, be comfortable where you are, and reset your whole thinking. Reset everything.
So if someone's wanting to say, okay, I feel, because I think mindset's a lot of it, right?
Yes.
Like we were talking earlier about, okay, I think I'm in a place, my life was crazy and whatnot, dealing with stuff, but now I'm at a place where I think I can focus on my health. So let's say your mindset's there. And I feel like for some people, or maybe just me, it's that if my mindset's there, I just want to be hardcore. Like, all right, fell off the wagon, but I'm back and I have my goals in place and I'm just going to kill it. And so now I'm cutting out everything and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that.
Don't do that.
Preach to
Don't
me,
do
please.
that.
Like,
So
give some counseling to me and everyone out there.
So I like what Samantha says about goals. Set realistic goals. That's your number one right there. Set realistic goals. And
Sorry.
So it's okay. Do things that you know that you can consistently do. Do things that you know you want to consistently do. Realistic goals say you want to lose 45 pounds.
Okay.
Right? That's a goal. But you have to remember
How did you know that number?
I just threw that number out there.
You just looked at
I'm
me
not
and you were like,
saying
no, no. Just kidding. No,
She's
go.
messing with me.
I know.
No, so-
No, but I'm listening. My ears perked up like, yes, you're
Okay.
speaking my language.
So so usually people are anywhere from 30 to like 40 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes like that. So I'm going to say 45. So say you want to lose 45 pounds. Okay. Now, do you have to lose 45 pounds or do you want to lose 45 pounds? Are you okay with it taking possibly 2 to 3 years? Or is this something that has to be done right now for your health? You have to do it that way too. And you have to remember also that whatever weight you want to lose, it's going to take time to take it off because it took time to put it on.
Yeah.
You didn't just wake up one day and balloon to 45 pounds. That was something, that's a buildup.
Yeah.
So you have to stop what you're doing and start from scratch from there.
Can you weigh in on I really like what you said about do you have to or do you want to? So I feel like most people listening would say, well, I want to just lose it all as fast as possible because I'm usually you get to a point where you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired.
Yes.
And so like, screw this. I just want it gone. Like I want 2 months gone, done. But then normally you do that and then it comes back on.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not exactly sure of the question, but actually, you know what? Maybe it's, could you speak into taking the time to lose it?
Yeah.
Because 1 to 2 pounds a week, I could say 2 pounds a week. And then in 20 weeks, I could lose 40 pounds.
Yeah.
But you just said it could take you 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So, of course, we are in an instant society.
I
know I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I want to do it in the 20 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's still healthy. It's still 1 to 2 pounds a week that everyone recommends.
Yes.
But you just said 2 years. So, but I see the wisdom in that. But I still need you to like tell me more because it's one of those things I get it, but I still need to be sold on it because I want it in like 10 weeks. So
yes. Well, no, like you said, we're living in an instant, in an instant moment where it can happen. You can go have surgery. It can happen that way. You can take supplements. It can happen that way. You can sign up for these programs that you said 10 weeks or 20 weeks and it can happen that way.
Yeah.
But why would you want it to happen so fast and so hard? And then you would have to keep it that way.
Yeah.
You can't just, people forget that when you go on different programs or platforms that have restrictions or cut things out and hey, you lost to 45 pounds in the set amount of time it said, but now you have to stay that way in order for it to not come back. You have to stay to that restriction, to that form, to that plan. And it's going to be hard to do that because you haven't, it might not be hard. There are people who have done it. There are people that can do it, but then there's those people who did it for whatever reason. And then they go right back to where they started from,
Yeah. Well, and I could speak that from my experience is that I've done really good at losing when I'm focused on it. And then I thought I had solved it because for years I had kept it off. So I thought I didn't fall into the pitfalls that you just described because it's been years that I've kept it off. And then some, just life things happened that I think for me personally started, some gain. But so my whole thing now is, okay, I want to be in the best shape, not like the best physical possible, but just, my best where that I can live my life and yada, yada.
Yeah.
And so it's okay when things come up, when life gets stressful, when gets this, how can I not do this back and forth? So
the back and forth is just taking to that's why it takes like when I said a year to 2 years, because it's all about slowing down and making sure that the things that you're doing make you have a positive spin.
Yeah.
But a positive spin for a longer amount of time, not a shorter amount of time. People have short-term goals and then long-term goals. And I think we need to invest more time in long-term versus short-term.
Ooh, say that one more time. We need
to invest more in long-term versus short time. Because long-term is life.
Yes.
Long-term is living.
Yes.
Short-term is in the moment right there, right then, right now. But I think we need to focus more on the long-term. That's why I say 2 years.
Yeah.
Because it builds up to you changing your behaviors, changing how you look into yourself, how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
Not just the physical, but the internal, you know,
Yeah.
and then focusing on that as well. And then once you have that rhythm, once you're into that whole sense of feel, sense of glow, sense of this is me, then it'll stick with it. You'll stick with it, and you'll see, you'll do the 1 to 2 pounds a week, maybe even more, but you'll do it because of your whole mindset and your whole mind shift that I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for my health. I'm doing this for myself, and not because of something quick and something easy. But we fall into that all the time, though, because we see it all the time. We're around it all the time, unfortunately. And fortunately, it could be good and bad, but we're around stuff like, we need it now. We need it quick. We need it done. And we have so many things that we're juggling. We have so many things going on that we forget that our body needs to heal.
Yeah.
It takes
the healing.
a year for all our cells to get back together, our liver, our kidneys, all that stuff, all the body function, all that to get back together. It takes a year for that to flush everything out and then push it in again.
Flush it out, I see. So that's great. I love with starting where you're at. It's like, it kind of goes back to what I feel like we've talked a lot about on different shows, is giving yourself grace.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
that's like, just, this is where you are. Let's face reality and then move forward.
Yes.
So.
But really set the realistic goals. Set the goals that are genuinely going to make you feel good, that are genuine to you, instead of in the moment. Set the realistic goals.
Yeah.
Another nugget I have is experiment. And we're going to talk a little bit about like experiment with your food, experiment with nutrition. And we hit this a little bit last time about the like different diets and fads out there and stuff. And I was thinking about that more. I was like, you can experiment with different diets, but don't make it a fad.
What do you mean by that? I like it. So what do you mean by that?
So there's different type of diets out there right now.
Yeah,
like
let's talk about keto.
Okay, there's keto out there. Keto.
How can you experiment with it without it being a fad?
So
is that possible?
It is
and
possible.
If so, how?
Okay, so it's the high fat, high protein, low carb diet, right? So
the modern day Atkins.
Yes.
Except with real food, right? Like that's kind of the difference.
I think so. Not the prepackaged.
Yeah, exactly.
All that stuff. Yeah. Like you're cooking a lot of the food.
Yes.
Or ordering different things.
Yeah.
But so making it not a fad, making it not, again, that quick fix. So instead of doing it some people do it for like months at a time or even years at a time. That's their diet. But if the fad part is if you're doing it to lose that quick 12 pounds and you only do it for 6 weeks, that's the fad part. Okay. Something that's quick. So if you want to do keto and you don't want it to be the fad, you can stick to it longer. But that is one of those things where it does it falls under the kind of like, not the restrictions, but you have to continue it.
Yeah.
All for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If you want to stay that weight or if you want to continuously keep losing weight.
And then I know doctors, I'm sure, would chime in that there's pros and cons.
Oh, there's a lot of pros and cons.
People, and then everyone's body's different. So also just a disclaimer, please advise with
please advise with your physician, exactly.
Before making any changes.
Yeah, this is totally all my opinion.
Yeah.
And this is from facts that I've learned, research that I've done. But again, this is my opinion. This is not the scientific based stuff. If you want to read more into it, But
that's the thing. I feel like there is so much out there.
Yeah.
And you're just bombarded with do this, do that. And like you said, it kind of comes down to what works for you.
Exactly.
And what works for what can you carry on. And that's what I struggle with, because I can definitely do low carb. That works for me. But then yet, how did I put on all this weight? So something didn't work.
Exactly.
Like there's a guy I follow just, online and read, and he said something like that. Like if you think you know what you need to do, you just need to do it, then you haven't figured it out yet. Yeah. And that was like, crushing to my soul. Cause I'm like, I always say, I know what I need to do, but I'm just not doing it. And I just need to figure out the reason why I'm not doing it.
So like with keto, you could do it for X amount of time, right? And you can lose the weight. But then somewhere along the line, your body feels that and your body shifts and it's like, yeah, we're done. We've hit the plateau. We need to do something else different now.
Yeah.
And so that's why some people struggle with it. And then they switch to a different one. And another one, like, that's making a comeback for food or whatever is flexitarian. And that's been something that's
I've not heard of this.
So flexitarian. So
figure.
Flexitarian is you're being flexible with your meat consumption. So you're eating more whole plant food and you're eating meat sparingly throughout the week. So you can have like, say, Monday, breakfast, all whole food, lunch, all whole food, dinner, you have your chicken. And then 2 or 3 days later, you keep eating all your plant-based foods, your whole foods, and then you have meat. So you have it, instead of having it 7 days a week, you have it like 2 or 3 times a week throughout the day with different meals, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It doesn't have to be the same set one. I mean, all it is adding in more plant foods. And that's what everybody's trying to do right now, is add in more plant foods.
Yes.
And that's going to be the new thing that's going to be next year. Like, you're going to see keto so big. You can see, I saw Slim Fast Keto the other day.
Yeah, it's labeled over everything
Yes,
now.
it is. And so now everything is plants. Like,
Okay.
they're coming up with more plant-based foods.
Because they see that it's transitioning.
But it's to mimic meat, though.
Oh.
But it's like they're making more plant-based,
Oh, like the
Beyond
Impossible.
Meat. Yeah,
Yeah.
and stuff, burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Or sausages and stuff. They're making a whole new breakfast line. Like, that's the thing too, is that it kind of falls to like a stigma. It's like, do they want to help us and make us beneficial, or do they want to continuously make money off of stuff?
And they watch the trends, and then it's like, oh, this is what people are doing.
Exactly. And it's very discomforting because there's so much information, but there's so much information backing so many different sources and stuff. And you have to kind of like follow the paper trail.
Where's the money coming from?
But I mean, but with the experiment, let me get back to that. Like, just play with different things.
Yeah.
Say for 2 weeks, play with whole plant foods. And then add meat in sparingly, or just play with different things, see what works for you, try out different things. But try out food, and you got to remember that a lot of things too is that our genetics make up, and our DNA makes up a lot of things. So you're going to have stuff from your parents, from your grandparents. You know, you're picking up all these different things, and certain things may not work. And don't ever say, well, Jenny did keto and she lost 35 and I did and only lost 10.
Or I gained 5 or something.
Yeah. You have to remember Jenny's genetics are different than yours.
Yeah.
And so as we get older, we lose a lot of our body cells, and we have to add in more different variations of plant foods, add in different variations of maybe meat if you're on to meat or stuff like that. We're not set to be one certain way. We're always changing. Our bodies are always changing, and we have to listen to our bodies, and our bodies are telling us that what it needs and what it doesn't need. And so that's what the experiment goes into.
And where you feel your best. So, like, as you're experimenting, I'm assuming that it's, do you feel good? Do you not have issues?
Exactly. Like what we said in the food journal. If you're doing keto for a few weeks, write down the goods, write down the bads. If you're going to just have vegetarian, write down the goods, write down the bads.
Your bathroom habits to make sure, really.
Yeah, keep room. You have to do it.
I know. It sounds like a joke, but I'm serious.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Part of it.
To figure out what's working, what's not working. That's the experiment right there.
That's great.
Yeah.
So next nugget we have, start from where you're at. Number 2, experiment with everything. And then number 3,
exercise, move to burn. So exercising, we talked a little bit about this last time. So what I want to say for this is, again, start from where you are. Don't just go full head into, I'm going to lift, and I'm going to run, I'm going to lift, I'm going to run, and get into that pattern. Then you get burnt out, and then you don't like it. Start small. Start with something light, like walking or jogging, and then build up to it. That's the whole point of it right there. But whatever you do, you have to remember too, if you have not been physically fit or moving for a certain amount of time or even years, you're going to have to start small. You have to start small. You have to shift your whole thinking, stop watching stuff, stop reading into stuff.
What are some goals people can set? Like, what are some specific things?
So you could set we're supposed to work out like 5 days a week. We're supposed to get anywhere from 120 to 150 minutes of exercise
a week. So 120 to 150 minutes of exercise a week. Okay.
So
and what does exercise mean? Does that mean your heart rate gets to a certain place?
Exercise means you are exerting your heart to get to a certain place. You're getting your body into motion and making your heart rate rise. And then different forms, different movement that you wouldn't do. So it's muscular endurance, it's strength endurance, it's cardiovascular endurance. You're building all that up, flexibility and everything too. So I would start if you have not moved out, or I'm sorry, if you haven't worked out in a few months or years or whatever, and you're overweight, you got to start small. You got to start baby steps. You have to start small, walking. And if you're extremely like you haven't done anything, you're like it hurts or something. Start at 10 minutes. Do a 10-minute pace and do that. and then do that for about a week. And then
Is it better to be like speed walking for a shorter time, or
because everybody's different.
Okay.
So I'd have to like see the person.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to start with if you haven't been doing something for a while.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You got to start small there, and it could be from 2 weeks to 1 week with walking. And then once you feel comfortable and you're not winded, then you can add some bigger ranges of movement with your arms. And then from there, when you have your breath and you're very getting into the pattern of moving, then you can start doing. What did I have? I had a plan. It was like a 4x4. So it was 4 weeks of 4 different exercises, 4 times a week.
Okay, so wait, 4 weeks for 4 different exercises?
And 7 times. That's what it was. It was 4x4x7.
So you do, every day you're doing 4 exercises?
Yes.
7?
4 times a week, 7 repetitions.
Okay.
So say you can do squats.
Okay.
Okay, that's 1 exercise. And you'll do that 7 times. And then you can do
7 squats?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you'll do lunges.
Okay.
And they'll bring your legs back. They'll do that 7 times. Then you can do some jumping jacks for like 7 seconds. That'll be your cardio. Or jog in place for 7 seconds.
I don't know any other jumpers out there. Sometimes it doesn't always end well. But
yeah.
there's exercises you can do to help with that. So.
Yeah, or you can just march in place or something. I know what you're talking about after having babies.
Yep.
But then you can do wall push-ups. But it's anything you can
wall
find.
Pushes.
Yeah,
Okay,
wall push-ups and stuff.
Oh, wall push-ups.
But yeah, I talk about that on my website and stuff, the 4-7. But what it is exercising is it's a thought process too. Because we see all these different things, we see all these different plans that you can purchase and do at home, and they're great, you know, but you got to remember that whatever you do, don't get frustrated.
Okay.
If you can't squat down as low as you want to, or it hurts, or you get winded, you have to take a break. Take a break. Your body is getting back into doing something physical that you haven't been doing.
I like that reminder because it kind of goes back to the nutrition, is that I can do anything for a short amount of time. I can cut out all these foods. So it's kind of like with exercising, like, okay, if I'm going to set a goal to do this for 1 month, I might feel like crap doing it, but I'll like push through.
Yes.
So you talked before about with exercising it being hard. And I was saying before that you can do anything for a short amount of time. So with your nutrition, you can say, okay, I'm going to cut this out. And so with working out, sometimes I feel like it's okay for a short amount of time, you can push through and do this versus having that shift in thinking of, and I think you said this last podcast, that exercise shouldn't be miserable. It shouldn't be hard. And I feel like if you have a similar personality to mine, which is the similar personality to the all or nothing, it becomes, well, if I'm going to work out, it's going to be hardcore or else why bother? So I like that you are constantly reminding us that, just doing kind of something. Can we review real quick the 4x4x7?
Yeah.
So, because people, if you are not in a place where you want to hire someone or, bring someone on, there's tons of videos out there, but I just never feel like doing that. So for me, it's like if I said, okay, every day I'm going to do these 4 squats.
Well,
or
it's
the
a new
squats,
thing.
the lunges.
It's a thing it's a concept that I'm coming up with right now, and I'm putting it on my website. It's for the back to basics.
Okay.
I really got a lot of good applause from that, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I'm confirming with you that I'm like, don't make me do too much. I don't want to work too hard. What's the most basic thing I can do?
The most basic thing is, so initially it's 4 weeks of 4 different exercises for 4 times for 7 repetitions. That's the 4-4-7.
Okay.
So what it means is you're going to start like with squats. You don't want to do squats, fine.
Yeah.
Start with lunges. I'm just thinking of all the different breaks it down into big muscles, your legs, and then your arms and your full body and stuff. So if you can't do a squat because your knees may be jacked up, you can do toe touches.
Oh.
You can do chairs, like you sit down to a chair and then you come back up, and you sit down and you come back up and do that. Yeah. You can do, like I said, the wall push-ups. You can do stretching, different stretches, forward folds, anything like that, anything to get the muscles limber, anything to get the fascia straightened out and everything too. But for the most part of it is that you have to remember that, again, this is another experiment. This is waking your body back up, and this is taking yourself and putting it in that uncomfortable zone, because when you start to move, things are going to start, you're going to realize things. You're going to think, you're going to go straight to your head. why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I'm awful at this. You know, you're going to start bringing yourself down, and you got to spin that around as quickly as you can. Be like, I'm doing this because I want to live longer. I'm doing this because I want to feel better about me. I'm doing this because I'm going to be on the beach or whatever it is. Have that visualization, you know, make sure you have a good visualization though, because your hater self is going to creep up in there and try to bring you down.
Your worst critic is you. So.
And be like, thank you for that, but I'm moving on and I'm going to do here, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
next.
Exactly.
That actually is a great segue into the fourth nugget that you have. So,
it's hard. Behavior change. Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, I have to make a change to change.
Girl, you got to breathe in and breathe out. It is hard. Change is hard. We were talking about that earlier. So it's not going to be easy. It's not, because you're going to have like those dark moments where you're going to talk yourself out of it.
What's the point?
You know, because you're so comfortable already doing the things that you're doing. Yeah. And you're not prepared. We're not prepared to do that.
How do we prepare then?
How do we prepare? We take a nice inhale, take a nice exhale, and we do it. And we don't get in our own way. And again, it also comes with setting the realistic goals. And for that, so you have to pick something that you can do for at least a month straight.
Okay.
Talk about it, write about it, post about it, whatever it is, and then continue doing it.
So pick one thing, do it for a month, then continue it, pick one more thing.
Pick one more thing. But only start with 2 though.
Okay.
So it could be anything from, and you have to start, like I'll do the smoking example. So if you're trying to quit smoking, instead of saying, I'm going to try quitting, say, I'm not smoking. Or if you like eating chocolate, like late at night or something, say, I'm not eating chocolate past 8. Start saying those words. And it's all about building a better language, talking to yourself too. We have to sympathize with other people, but you have to sympathize with ourselves too, because the things that we do and things we're trying to break or things we're trying to improve, it's going to take time. And you have to remember that time is on your side. Yeah. Time is your friend.
So that's funny, because we always talk about that we don't have a lot of time. No. So bust that myth open.
I am going to bust that myth open, because I think we're living in this day and age where everything's so fast paced and stuff. So we feel like we don't have time
with weight. Like, because I've been overweight this long, I have to lose it now.
Yeah, because we're building, because we have so many things that we have to do. We have so many hands, so many arms, you know, that we have to hold on to so many things. But at the end, you have to give yourself time, and you have to make peace with that. And you have to make peace with the past you, because the past you no longer controls you. The future you controls you. The moment right now does.
The past you no longer controls you?
Yeah. And if you keep continuously having those thoughts about the past, then they will continuously control you. So until you break that barrier, you won't be able to change, break, or start any habits. You have to release that, be free of that, and then start moving forward.
Wow, that's huge. So what's a way, I mean, I know we've talked with people in the past right here on the podcast and in life, you know, that people that specialize in kind of changing those thought patterns, but what are some things that you know, tips and things like that to make these behavior changes?
So things
and let go of that past.
Yeah. So things that have been working, honestly, for me, I've been taking time in the morning after my kids are done and stuff, and they go to school and everything. That's when I have my me time. Okay. That's when I have my reflection, my visualization time. And you have to have moments like that. Things like yesterday didn't do this, and it sneaks up in the back of me, you know, and it tries to come, and I'm like, no, yesterday, that was yesterday. This is today. Yeah. And this is and you have to visualize that moment right there. So if you went to bed that night and you said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to, whatever it could do, I'm going to do the dishes, or I'm going to make breakfast for the kids, or something like that. Go to bed with that thought. You're going to get up with that thought, and you might feel like, oh, I don't want to do it. But you know, you'd be like, I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So you're going to be like kind of talking to yourself a little bit more, and that's fine. Yeah. Because this is behavior change for you and no one else. And then another thing is that you can start in the morning or start wherever it is, but make sure you have a little bit of time for you. Don't put a time limit on it. And because then again, that's another thing where you're rushing, So don't put a time limit on it, and set out your plan for the day. If you couldn't do it the night before, set it out right then and there and stuff. Schedule that time for you and what it is that you're going to do that day, and make sure there is something for you in that day, because you have to like take care of the house and go to work or do other things like that. But make sure you have set time for yourself, because if you don't have time for yourself, then nothing's going to be working out. And it's not selfish. It's more self-care and more taking care of yourself. And then you got to remember that it's going to take a while for you to break those habits and stuff. And don't look at it like, I need to break this habit. Look at it more of, why do I want to break this habit? Or why do I want to add this into my life? And look at the positive of it, and make sure you have a strong standing affirmation on why you're doing it too. And make a strong sense of your why.
So visualization. So take the time to visualize in the morning.
Yes.
And then self-care, and then affirmation.
Right.
Those were the 3 things that I heard as like huge things that we need to be working on.
Definitely.
And one thing, it's funny, I've been listening to Rachel Hollis's Girl Stop Apologizing book. And I know people, whenever anyone comes out with something, there's always good and bad, people say. And one of the things, and not just for her book, because it's just a society, we're always saying that people are always so selfish. Everyone's like it's all about me, society, and that we need to kind of get back to having our focus in the right area. But she just said something in a chapter that I thought was so powerful. She said, most women I know do not take care of themselves. They do for everyone else. So, and I don't know if she said this, so I can't quote her, but it got my mind thinking that like, so the reason she, that she's talking so much about it, about you need to take time for you, you need to take time for you. People hear that and they think, look, everyone's just making it about them. And she was saying, and this was like the aha moment for me, like the reason we're talking about it is because it's not happening, that women, men too, I'm not, but people, that we often do just pour and pour and pour and pour. And that's why there's so much talk right now about that, because we've seen the results of what happens when you don't take that time for you.
When you don't, you get a little bit more moody.
Yeah.
Your energy is super low.
Yeah.
And then what you are giving out, people are taking in. And that's another thing too, is like, you kind of want to look at your surroundings as well. Look at if there's something that surrounds you that doesn't make you quite happy or put you in a positive mood, then remove it. And you can start with in your home, like take away things that have past or bad memories. Why would you want to keep anything centered around you that gives you a bad memory or has a bad experience? Remove that as well too. And then you got to also remember that it's going to take time. That's the point of this whole thing, is it's going to take time for you to start from fresh and don't look at it as an excuse, because it's not an excuse that you're taking care of yourself. And I'm saying all these things too, because I'm working on myself and I'm doing it a lot more now too, because I wasn't doing it before, because I am that person that I am mom, I am wife, I am caregiver. I have to give, and I don't expect to receive anything. But then when I give so much, I get frustrated.
Yeah.
And
what changed for you? Like, what do you think has been, you said this year has been a really good year. So what has been the catalyst for that?
I think it's been a really good year because we all change. We all go through different atmospheres, different times where we change in things. And I think this is a time of me changing on to more self-reflection. And I've never really, I haven't been doing that for a while. I haven't been self-reflecting and internally, like, I've been having mood swings. I've been wondering why I've been having mood swings. I've been frustrated easily over things that I like to do. I've been wondering why. So I've been taking time in to figure out what's going on. And it's been working, because it doesn't make any sense, because I'm usually like happy-go-lucky. And even my family is like, my daughter said the other day, I said, do you think I'm like a positive person? She said, yeah, Mom. She said, you're always at 98%. She's like, you have that 1% where you're frustrated, and then you have that other percent where you're stressed out and stuff. And otherwise you're fine. I was like, oh, dang. That's okay. And I didn't feel that I was giving that off.
To your family? Or anyone?
To anyone. Oh, I thought it was not like that. And it was very strange. So what I've been doing is I have been visualizing more. I have been doing more. I've been doing a lot of mirror exercises.
What are the mirror exercises?
For me, for my change of behavior is I have like one of those, I don't know, those weird mirrors that flip and it's like right in your face.
Yeah. Like a makeup or a magnifying mirror.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't wear a lot of makeup. So I was like, I didn't know what it was called. So, but I have one of those mirrors. And so what I do is I go into the mirror and I'll say, good morning to myself, Natasha. I love you. Oh. And then I find things that I love about myself. And that's my new language that I'm giving.
That's awesome.
So I would like, Natasha, I love your eyes. I love your arms. You know, it could be anything. I love your sense of you. Stuff like that. You got to, and as I get older, there's new things that I love about myself that I didn't think I would love about myself. So I do the mirror. I do the self-reflection. I always sit in quiet for a little bit. That's my reflecting moment right there. I don't have the TV on and I don't have music on. I just sit with my dog, my boo-boo, and I've just been taking all that in, and that's been helping and stuff. Cause I think there's a lot, like when, Christina was on here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of self-healing that we need to do.
Yeah.
We struggle with. A lot of it is because we carry a lot of our past on our shoulders still, and we need to break free of that.
And I love the thing about the mirroring that you talked about that, because that's something that it sounds
freaky at
weird.
first.
Yeah. Like, well, you know, it's like, and I think even doing it, it's like, you know, we'd be lying if it's like, but for me, like one thing I know I want to work on is some of that internal talk. And so it's like, that's weird. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But like, well, dang, you are sitting here saying, I did it.
Yeah.
And I'm changing. And so it's like, you know what, guys, just try something weird.
It sounds
weird.
Oh, I have another weird one too.
More
this could
weird.
be for yourself and your spouse and your kids, your whole family. It's a 24-hour challenge.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So I know. So for 24 hours, you can't have a bad thought. If you do have a bad thought, replace it with something positive. And that has to go with a person as well. So if I have a bad thought about my son, if he's being like a jerk or something, I'm going to replace it with something else. And I'm not going to say that, because if I have that in my head, that's going to ride me for the rest of the time I'm with him. And that's not fair to him.
Yes.
You know? And that's another thing. And if you, like with the kids bickering, we did it for 24 hours. It was hard. But then they realized, they're like, wow, I didn't know how many bad thoughts I have about myself or about somebody else. And I was like, what do you mean you have bad thoughts about yourself? Because you don't even think about kids having bad thoughts about themselves, you know? So I was happy that we did that, because that opened them up and let them realize that, you know, hey, we're okay. You know? Yeah. But that's the 24-hour challenge we did. We did it over the summer. And I do it sometimes, all the time too, because if I have like something bad going, I'm like, nope, push that out. Yeah. But you can't be this happy-go-lucky person all the time if you're not true to what you preach to everybody as well.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I've been reading a lot about that. It's like, okay, if you're going to be putting it out there, you got to follow it. So.
Yeah.
This is great. Thank you so much, Natasha.
You're welcome.
And remind everyone, where can they find you at? What's your website?
So my website is, so funny, I'm going to do it again, fitness and energy, 4, letter U, @.com. I'm also on Facebook, and I'm on Instagram and YouTube as well.
Yay. And so they can see some videos of you doing some workouts so that we can learn along with you.
I am on there doing nutrition tips, healthy eats with Coach Natasha, and also some different exercise tutorials and stuff like that as well in program, like workouts. So yeah.
Well, thanks for helping us get motivated, giving us some real tips that we can do and to make a change, because I know that we all are wanting to continually striving to be our best. So thank you so much.
Oh, you guys are welcome. Thanks for having me.
And that's a wrap for now.
Thanks for listening to Flushing It Out with Samantha Spittle. Music provided by twinmusicom.org. Song titled Night at the Dance Hall. Sound editing by me, Jeremy Spittle. A special thanks to our studio sponsor, M&M Exteriors. Visit their website at mmexteriors.com for all of your roofing, siding, and gutter needs in the Northern Virginia area. Visit our website at flushingitout.com and be sure to subscribe. This has been a Spitfire production.
That was the greatest thing I've ever heard.